What's going on, Paw fans? Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Jackson Mead and the potential big 2022 season he could have. I'd like to firstly start off this video by saying check out my previous video about Todd Marshall and the potential he could have in 2022. So make sure you go and check that out, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content that'll come your way in season 2022. We're only around 40 days to go, which is absolutely insane to think after the long pre-season that we've endured already, but footy is just around the corner. So let's get a bit excited and talk about Jackson Mead. So I don't know if you've seen some of the pre-season photos. I'm not one to really dive into the gallery as much. I just like to read the articles and get different people's perspectives on what's been happening throughout training. But glancing through a few of the galleries so far this year, I've noticed one person in particular is looking very fit and very firing, and that's Jackson Mead. Now, last year I did point out he would be a potential excitement machine. He might come into the mould and play some great footy and make his name at AFL level. He didn't quite end up that way due to a spleen injury and a lot of other little niggles that came throughout the off-season as well, which is such a shame because we know as a talented rookie that he is, and he proved that at the end of last year playing for the Magpies in the SANFL. And 2020 as well, he was hindered due to COVID and didn't quite get to make a name for himself in SANFL because Port Adelaide weren't a part of it in that season. So coming into this year, it's a totally different dynamic. He's had a full pre-season under his belt. Really looking forward to seeing what he can bring. And there's a few key attributes as well that I reckon he will be able to make his name for and be ahead of the rest. Now, I did mention that he was hindered in 2020 due to he was drafted at pick 25, the young rookie, the son of Darren Mead, who was the inaugural part of the 1997 AFL squad. He was an emergency against Collingwood that played up at the Gabba in round 18 that year, which was the first glimpse, the first sign of the potential that he had, and he had played some great footy in those practice matches that were up in Queensland and throughout the hubs in that period. And it was really good to see that he was being named. I know there was a lot of people that mentioned his name throughout, even last year too, as a potential midfield replacement for, say, a Boak or a Robbie Gray down the track. And he's got a lot to prove, obviously, and I think getting his start in 2022 will be the start of that program that he'll be building. And speaking of programs, I've heard little rumours and little trickles of information that have come out, and one was Jackson Mead completed his own pre-season program, which was really great to see. And if I'm guessing correctly on what that means, is he's used his initiative, he's put the work into place and really been able to help himself improve over the off season. And as I said, he's looking absolutely fit and firing from a lot of gym work, it seems. Really built that body, and I reckon he's going to be a really damaging inside mid player, which, look, on the outside, you're just thinking, well, we don't have a lot of those, but now that you've got the likes of Connor Rosie and Zach Brothers pushing through into the midfield role, and even Xavier Dersma, Carl Amon too, if they're going to be those outside type midfielders, you're going to have your midfield of Butters, Rosie, Mead, and then you have your Boak, you have your Wines, and your key pillars that will always be there. But chopping and changing with those names ain't such a bad thought. His name sprung to mind at the end of last year. It wasn't named as an emergency at the end of last year, but when he came back from his injury and really was able to impress a lot of the people down at Alberton, having averaged 60. He was averaging 68% disposal efficiency at 18 possessions per game on average, which is a great input in SANFL terms. And I have a lot of players that will chop and change through there. You can play at a half forward type player as well, and that type role could help him develop into a full-time midfielder when it comes to AFL level. I think the main thing as well will be to see how he goes in the pre-season games. As you would have seen, it was announced that we are playing Gold Coast at Metricon Stadium Friday the 25th of February. It'll be broadcasted on KO as well, so if you got KO, you'll be able to watch it. And that'll be interesting to see. I have no doubt he'll play that, and I think we'll rest a few players, and we won't put all of our best 22 to travel up to the Gold Coast. I think we'll save that mainly for when it comes to playing the Crows at Richmond Oval on March 5th. So if Jackson Mead wants a little bit of a head start as such and a point to prove when it comes to maybe making the best 22 early days into season 22, or even possibly pushing for round one, He's got a couple of opportunities to do that, and I think as well there might be an internal trial. Not 100% sure on that one. I think the club will let us know on that. But to see how he can develop into the player that he is, and how he can bring such a different dynamic. He's a tough nut. It'll be an Ollie Wines type, but a younger version. And the good thing as well that I've noticed when it comes to these younger players is they might be an inside midfielder as a broader specialty, but when it comes to this day and age, so many players can play so many different types of positions, and his dynamic as an inside midfielder will be totally different to the dynamic that Ollie Wines is used to. So he could bring something totally different to the table, and that'll be great to see. But hey, who knows what's going to bring in 2022? I'm looking forward to seeing what some of the youngsters can produce. The Joshy Sins, the Lockie Jones, and the trifecta as well. Your Dersma, your Rosie, your Butters. What they're going to bring this year. There's so many names on that plate that are going to chop and change that I think we'll all be looking forward to. And there's still a lot of excitement around this year, and I know as a team's perspective, we're just reserving what we feel as supporters. But there's individuals to be excited about, and potential in others as well. That who knows what they could bring, and a lot of them could surprise us this year. And I think that's what Port Adelaide needs, is a bit of a surprise, a bit of a stir up, and not expecting the same players to do the same thing. And maybe there is a Jackson Mead in there that comes in and plays 18 to 20 games throughout the year and just doesn't lose his spot because he's just put in such good performances and plays his role. That this is the shake-up the squad might need when it comes to the deeper end. And younger players seem to perform better under pressure in certain circumstances. And Meady, we don't know what he's like. We don't know. We haven't seen a big enough detail to really put a finger on it. But I'm really excited to see what he can bring, and many of others, when it comes to our season 2022, and there's a lot to look forward to still. Well, Port fans, that wraps up this video about Jackson Mead. The potential he has in 2022 is absolutely massive. So let me know in the comments below what you're thinking in particular, and let me know as well if there's anyone else that you're excited about or could have the potential to have a big year. I might do a video on them. So this little discussion pieces I'm really enjoying, and it's something I really like to do in terms of a change up for content as well. So as I said, subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content that'll come your way in season 2022. Games are not far around the corner. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Anthony, and as always, come there.